Hi and welcome to this video on for loops. For loops are a really important programming concept. You might have heard them mentioned before as being a repeat loop. And they're really useful in programming when we want to repeat a section of code a certain amount of times. Let's look at an example using our agent here on how a for loop works. And as you can see, it's raining in my world here at the moment. So if I get close to my agent, you can see down the bottom right hand corner that the right mouse button is highlighted in white saying open. I can click on that and get to my agent's inventory. Now we need to give him some blocks because I'm going to get him to lay down some blocks. So I'm just going to grab, let's grab purple construction. Let's have a look. What color block am I going to get my agent to put down? Let's grab this one. Alright, so I'm going to right click on my agent and drop this into, there we go, drop it into this slot here. Now we're going to need to know what slot we've put different objects in. This here, where I've put this lapis lazuli ore, is slot 1. Next to it, slot 2, slot 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and it goes all the way up to down here as 27. So this slot here is 10, all the way up to 19, or actually 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. The next one down here is 19, and then we go up to 27 here. So we need to, whenever we're getting our agent to build something or do something, we need to know what slot we're going to grab stuff out of. And I'll show you that in code in a moment. So let's just say, let's move our agent over here. Let's find somewhere a little bit more flat. I think probably just in this area here is going to be really useful. Alright, if you haven't already or you're not sure on how I'm moving around, go back and look at the first video on moving around. So first thing I'm going to do is teleport my agent to my position. I did that bit of code in the last video. You can see that as I move around my agent, he faces his head towards me. If you're standing behind your agent and you can't see his nose, or can't see his face, should I say, you are standing behind the agent. So it's always good to know which way your agent is facing. You can see at the moment I'm standing in front of him, which is what I want. Well, I want him facing that way. Alright, let's jump into code. Now I'm going to leave that teleport one there. I'm going to set up a new one. So player.onChat, well, player. And you can see as I start typing in, we've got this list down here. This is auto completion or IntelliSense, if to use a proper name for it, and it gives us a list of available options. With one highlighted, I can press enter and it will auto complete it for me. However, I do need to get rid of a few things here, so I'm just going to highlight these num1, num2, num3, delete those because I don't need those, and I'm going to go here, call this build 1. Next thing I'm going to do, I need to do a few things to set up my agent to build. I need to agent.set slot, and this is what we spoke about before. We've got this bit of command here tells the agent which slot to use to grab the items from. In this case, I've got my items in slot 1. Now I'm going to get my agent to build a row of 10 blocks, or lay down 10 blocks. So I'm going to get agent.move, and I'm going to move him in the up direction. So I'm going to move him up by 1 block. I'm going to get agent.place and place it down, which will be underneath him. Then agent.move 1 block forward. So what our code does, when I type in build 1, it's going to go, okay, I'm going to set the agent's active inventory slot, which I've put the blocks in slot 1. I'm going to move him up by 1 block. I'm going to place the block that's in slot 1 underneath him, and then I'm going to move him forward by 1. And let's see what happens. See, there we go. He's moved up, place the block, move 1 forward. Now, I want a row of 10. So, I'm going to teleport him next to me. And I'm going to go into code here. And what I can do is grab, these 2 lines here, copy and paste them. And in fact, in order to do the copy and paste in Code Builder, you've got to right click, go copy. Then you can use a keyboard shortcut to paste, which is Command V on a Mac or Control V on Windows. So that's done 1 block, 2 blocks, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, let's run it. Build 1. Let's go back into code and make sure it runs fine. Whoops, you can see here that it's not running, and there's a little bit of an error there. You can see anything that's got a squiggly red underline means that it's not recognized in code. So let's run that now. There we go. All right, build 1. Dump, 2, 3, 4, dump. A cow's come to investigate. So you can see I have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 blocks. Now, this is one way of doing it. However, it's not overly efficient. I'm going to teleport my agent back, and now I'm going to demonstrate how to use a for or repeat loop. So all of this, it's taken me from 6 down to 27, so that's 21 lines of code there in order to lay down 10 blocks. What I can do, I'm going to delete all of this and show you a quicker way to do it. Actually, I do need 1 of those lines. Okay, so I've already moved him up. I don't need to move him up again each time. So set slot, move him up by 1. That's our setup. Next, I'm going to use a for loop. I'm going to let I equal 0. I is going to be less than 10. And I'm going to get I plus plus. All right. In between these curly braces is what's going to be repeated a certain amount of times. All right, let's look at the construction of this for loop. So for sets the for loop up. And in this bracket here is our conditions on what this loop is going to be. I'm going to let this variable called I start off at 0. And while I is less than 10, I'm going to run this code. Each time the code runs through, or it's run once, I'm going to increment I by 1. I'm going to add 1 to it each time. And that's what this I plus plus means. We could write it as I equals I plus 1. So in the first time through, I is equal to 0. Next time through, it's got 0 plus 1. So it's going to be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Next time it goes to run through, I is going to be equal to 10. I has to be less than or equal to 10. Less than 10, not less than or equal to. It's got to be less than 10. So when I is equal to 10, it's not going to run. Might seem a little bit counterintuitive to go, hang on a sec, why is it when it's running for the 10th time, it's not going to run? We're not going to get 10 blocks. Well, in fact, we are. Computers start counting at 0. So if we count all the way up to less than 10, we have 0 as our first one, 1 as our second number, 2 is our third, 3 is our fourth, 4 is our fifth, 5th is our sixth, 6 is our 7th, 8th is our 9th, etc. all the way up to 9 being our 10th number. So and I'll just write it out here. For the first time through, it's going to be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 10 numbers here. So we've got our first number, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, 8th, 9th, 10th. So that's what happens with that. So this bit of code here, I've gone from 21 lines down to 6 lines of code. Let's run it, and just to show you that it still comes up with the same part. Now, click run, and try again. Alright, here we go. Okay, this cow needs to disappear. It can go away, and we'll try again because the cow stopped. You probably saw that little bit of a red error message that came up. Our cow stopped our code from running properly. Oops, the agent could not place the block or item because the cow was in the road. Silly cow. Alright, let's try again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, actually, let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 blocks. You can see that it lines up. We get the same amount of blocks. This is a more efficient way of laying down 10 blocks. So those 21 lines of code have now been reduced down to 6. The beauty of this is I can go, alright, so I wanted 10. I could do it to be 20 blocks if I wanted to, or 15. Let's do 15 because I think, no, 20 should. Actually, let's change it to 30. Let's be adventurous. It may or may not work because we might run out of space, but we'll see what happens. So I'm going to go back to the start here, teleport my agent. Not forgetting to, you can see that sometimes it's a good idea to actually hit the green button down here, and I'm going to format the document as well. If right-clicking and format document will align everything up so you can see where you're missing brackets. So I'm going to run the code, or at least hit run down there, teleport, and run the command again. So there we go. And I was in the road that time, so it's going to keep building till it gets to the end here. And you can see by just changing one thing, I can change the length of, or how many loops this for loop will run. So that's the basis of a for loop, and you will be needing to use this in the agent trials, so from at least trial 5 onwards. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. If you've got any questions, please ask. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already for more videos on programming, Minecraft, Education Edition, Mathematics, Physics, and a variety of more topics. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.